this. This is a very serious time in my life. I hate what's happening to the country. I wish I didn't have to do it. I wish this country was running so great, and I wish Obama was the greatest president since Abraham Lincoln, and I wish this was the greatest place in the world. What we're doing is unbelievable. If you look at what's going on, where our jobs are disappearing to foreign countries, where the oil, you're going to be paying $7 or $8 a gallon for your oil very soon. It's a terrible presidency. Look at Libya. We go in, we don't want to remove Gaddafi, but we're going to go fight, and we're going to this, and now nobody knows what's happening, and it looks like Gaddafi is going to beat the United States.
Would you as president say, let's get more aggressive, let's put boots on the ground if we have to?
I'm only interested in Libya if we keep the oil. If we don't keep the oil, I'm not interested. I don't know who the rebels are. You know, they make the rebels like it's some romantic, beautiful novel, the rebels. I hear the rebels are Al-Qaeda. I hear they're Iran-backed and Iran-influenced. Where are they getting those weapons before we came along? From Iran. Gaddafi's going to go around saying he won the war against his country. When you ask me what I do, I'm only interested in Libya if we get the oil.
All right, so everybody wonders what the Obama doctrine is. Asking questions.
He doesn't have a doctrine. He doesn't have a doctrine.
What's your doctrine? What would your doctrine be?
About what? With respect to what?
With foreign affairs.
Foreign affairs is we take care of ourselves first, okay? We don't build schools in Afghanistan. We go to Afghanistan. We build a road. We build a school. 2 days later, they blow up the road, they blow up the school. We start building the road and the school again. In the meantime, we can't build schools in Alabama, in New Orleans, in Texas, in New York, my place, where we're always fighting to try and get school money. We're spending trillions and trillions of dollars. My thing and my doctrine would be build, build, build.
Some positive news for you, this new poll, new NBC News Wall Street Journal poll that shows you surging to second place among potential GOP candidates for 2012. Why do you think that you are connecting with voters?
I think that I connect with people because I happen to be smart. I happen to have a lot of common sense. I happen to know what I'm doing. I built a great company, and by the way, if I run, I look so forward to filing a declaration because it's a great company. I built a great company, and I'll make that decision sometime prior to June.
What are you waiting
but
for?
I think
what are
I'm
you waiting for?
Well, I hate to say it. I have the #1 show on NBC.
That's pretty good, fellas.
Is that a correct statement? I mean, The Apprentice is doing great, The Celebrity Apprentice. And I am not allowed to run.
What does it have to do with
it? Has a lot to do with it. It sounds so trivial, and I hate to even bring it up, but I'm not allowed to run during the show. No, you're not allowed to have a show on and be a declared candidate. It's a great show, and it's got phenomenal ratings. And until that show is over, I can't declare, because otherwise NBC would have to take the show off the air, and I think that would be very unfair to NBC.
Recently, you spent a lot of time talking about President Obama's birth certificate, or lack thereof. You don't seem convinced that he has one.
No, I'm not convinced that he has one. I've had very smart people say, Donald, stay on the China issue, stay on the Saudi Arabia issue, stay on the India taking our jobs, and the Mexico, which is NAFTA, which
Get off the birth certificate issue.
Get off the birth certificate issue.
Why don't you?
Because you know what? 3 weeks ago when I started, I thought he was probably born in this country, and now I really have a much bigger doubt than I did before.
Well, based on that,
And you know what? His grandmother in Kenya said he was born in Kenya, and she was there and witnessed the birth. Okay? He doesn't have a birth certificate, or he hasn't shown it. He has what's called a certificate of live birth. That is something that's easy to get. When you want a birth certificate, it's very hard to get.
but it's considered the equivalent.
It's not the equivalent.
In the state of Hawaii, they said they have seen this document. It is evidence that he was born in the United States. That's good enough for them. Scholars have
A birth certificate is not even close. A certificate of live birth is not even signed by anybody. I saw his. I read it very carefully. It doesn't have a serial number. It doesn't have a signature. There's not even a signature.
Do you believe he's
I'm
lying?
starting to think that he was not born here.
Do you believe he's lying, Don? Come on,
Meredith, he spent $2 million in legal fees trying to get away from this issue. And if he weren't lying, why wouldn't he just solve it? And I wish he would, because if he doesn't, it's one of the greatest scams in the history of politics and in the history, period. You are not allowed to be a president if you're not born in this country. He may not have been born in this country. And I'll tell you what, 3 weeks ago I thought he was born in this country. Right now I have some real doubts.